Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
And we have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this Tuesday, March 4th. Now, today, we'll be talking about a brutal attack on an older British man by a bouncer in Pattaya, the effect that the White Lotus is having on the Thai tourism industry, and a little later, increased scrutiny in the Philippines on suspected Chinese espionage donations. But first, we have some tragic news today here in Thailand. A Scottish expat has died in a Lopburi quad bike crash, raising road safety concerns. A 62-year-old Scottish expat tragically died in a quad bike accident on Lopburi motorway flyover in the early hours of March 1st. The retired oil rig worker, a well-known Rotary Club member, lost control, skidded, and crashed into a concrete barrier, falling 30 feet to his death. Authorities discovered skid marks and wreckage at the scene. His passing has reignited concerns over Thailand's high road fatality rate, with calls for stronger safety measures and stricter enforcement of traffic laws to prevent further tragedies. Quad bikes.
Yeah. Well, quad bikes aren't legal on the street.
Right.
And those look like strong, powerful quad bikes as well. I don't know much about them, obviously, but sad story.
Yeah, throwing caution to the wind is never worth it, guys. Like, trying to have some fun, obviously, ramping up the speed, getting the adrenaline pumping, but in worst case scenario is this. And unfortunately, he's already retired, right?
Yeah.
In the golden years. Not how you want it to end. So anyways, heart goes out, but just another warning to everybody, be careful on these roads.
We're going to move on to our next story that takes us to Phuket regarding a Russian man found dead amid possible drugging investigation. A 41-year-old Russian man was found dead in a residence in Koh Keo, Phuket on March the 2nd. His girlfriend discovered his body around 6 p.m. with police alerted 2 hours later. No signs of assault were found, but a syringe, white powder, a teaspoon, and a lighter were near the body. Authorities suspect possible drug involvement and are analyzing the substance to determine its role in its death. And police continue to investigate the circumstances surrounding the incident.
Well, I think we can make some assumptions about what happened here. Obviously, this looks like heroin to me. This is something that, you hear a lot about drugs in Thailand. There's tons of cocaine, party drugs, that kind of thing. But never forget the Golden Triangle, right? Yeah. That is a traditional drug, opioids, heroin, that kind of a thing. Still here and still rearing its ugly head as we see in this case. So could be a question too of remember, speaking of Oscars, Philip Seymour Hoffman died from some laced heroin that was laced with fentanyl, so that could also be the case here as well. So that's why it's important that they investigate and see exactly what the substance was. And another reason why I think it would be great, many countries have started open, test your drugs policies. Okay, you're gonna do drugs, fine, whatever, but test them to make sure that it is exactly what you're doing. So until Thailand can adopt some policies that are making it safer for substance abuse, we're gonna keep seeing stories like this, and it's unfortunate. Anyways, on to our next story. We are back down in Pattaya, where a British tourist was knocked unconscious by a club bouncer. That's right, a 62-year-old British tourist was knocked unconscious by a security guard on Pattaya's walking street after an altercation around 11:30 p.m. Video footage shows the tourist initiating the confrontation before the guard delivered a single punch, causing him to hit his head on the pavement. The guard then disappeared into the crowd, probably knew what he was doing wrong. Despite local authorities' efforts to improve tourism safety, violent incidents involving security staff persist. This follows multiple past assaults, raising concerns about club security practices and police handling of such cases in Pattaya.
Look, obviously, I need to know a bit more about what the situation was and why this happened. But in the video, you can clearly see the British man charging at him. I mean, look, he's a bouncer, and he should have realized that this person's probably intoxicated and not gone for the jaw. But he was being charged down. What do you do?
Yeah, sometimes it's your only option. And that's the thing here in Thailand, man. A lot of these dudes do Muay Thai, bro. Yeah. You do not want to mess with them. So
that guy knew what he was doing. Obviously he's a bouncer. He knows how to somewhat kind of fight, I'm guessing. Yeah. But
definitely sucks though, because this is on pavement, man. You know what I mean? So it's one thing to get the punch, but you're not hitting a canvas, man. You're hitting concrete, and that skull crack can lead to some serious damage.
True. No, absolutely.
But also at the same time, come on, dude. What is with tourists? You're that old. How are you still behaving this way?
Yeah.
That's another thing that gets brought up a lot in these situations is guys, like, just control your, like,
Yeah.
handle your booze, handle
And I
yourself.
think you have
like,
to be extremely rowdy for the bouncers to even get involved. This isn't like America or anything, like, you know, where they're a bit more strict, like, on how you need to behave. Like, in Thailand, like, you have to be extremely rowdy for the bouncers to get involved. And then for you to then charge down the bouncer.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. Again, I don't know the entire situation there. Obviously, they need to investigate to see what happened, who was in the right. But I don't even know if bouncers, if they do, are you allowed? Is that considered as physical assault? Are you allowed to punch them? And
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen in this situation. Well, we'll see if we get some follow up.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to a light-hearted story. Some positive news. The White Lotus season 3 sparks travel boom to Thailand.
Woo!
Are more travelers in Thailand even possible? Well, the White Lotus season 3, filmed at the Four Seasons resort of Koh Samui, has sparked a major tourism boom in Thailand. The hit HBO series, known for its opulent resorts and satirical take on wealth and power, has fueled a set-shedding trend where travelers visit destinations featured in their favorite shows. Now, since the announcement of its Thailand location, flight searches to Chiang Mai, Phuket, and Koh Samui have surged, with Koh Samui seeing a 30% increase in hotel searches. For the Four Seasons resort, jumped 65% for the specific resort that the people stayed in, highlighting the show's real-world impact on travel. More people to Thailand.
Yeah, who knew? I knew it was funny. I was in Koh Samui last week, and they were talking about, like, everybody was all abuzz about it because that is obviously where it was filmed.
That's what happens. Everywhere you go, everyone was just greeting each other by saying White Lotus.
Yes, indeed. White Lotus to you
White
too.
Lotus.
Yeah. But they make it look great. Like, honestly, let's be real. There's a reason why White Lotus is so popular. And obviously the drama and the intrigue is super fun too. I absolutely love the show. And I think season 3 might be my favorite. And I might be a little biased because it is here in Thailand. But this is good news.
Yeah,
I think
it's good news.
I mean, it's good news not just because, like, okay, now people want to come to Thailand. It's also putting Thailand on the cultural map. Like, people are paying much more attention to what Thailand is. So I'll tell you, for example, this week, on this week's episode, one of the characters is like, I got to find some weed. And he went out to a cannabis dispensary and just picked up weed. And I'm pretty sure that's a revelation to many people in America who just did not know that cannabis was legal here in Thailand. They're like, what? Oh, you can just go pick it up? So that could be yet another big boost, just understanding the culture of what's going on over here too.
You'd think that Thailand's already popular, but it can always be more popular.
Indeed.
And also the perception of some people of Thailand is still, you know, outdated and stereotypical. But now they're like, oh, wow, it's quite modern.
Indeed.
But White Lotus for everybody. And also, another fun fact, not fun fact, but a reality. Thailand has a great relationship with filming in general. Like, not only is it amazing for filmmakers to come and film in Thailand for tax purposes, this White Lotus was actually supposed to be in Japan.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was actually supposed to be in Japan, but Thailand just offered a better package. And the producers decided to bring it to Thailand. And, you know, Thailand loves its movies. We've got islands named after James Bond. You know, one of the most famous islands in Thailand for foreigners to visit is James Bond Island because James there was a James Bond movie shot there.
Dr. No.
Yeah. PP is extremely famous partly because the beach where the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio was shot there, and you can actually go to that specific beach. And maybe Samui is going to be known as the White Lotus.
Yeah. Dude, what I'm most excited about, the next big project that's coming out of Thailand, Alien Earth.
Wow.
So excited. They're making an alien
The jungles
TV show.
of Kanchanaburi. I don't know.
No, it's taking place in the city of New Bangkok. Like, I am pumped for this.
New
Actually,
Bangkok. Just
I know some people that are on
cyberpunk
the production.
Bangkok?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Nice.
very excited. So there's big Hollywood productions coming
I feel
here.
like
It's a big thing.
Bangkok would be the perfect city for like a cyberpunk kind of
For
city.
sure. Yeah, very Blade Runner-y around here.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Well, all right,
Yeah, let's move on. We'll get into the comments, everybody, at the end. We only have 2 more stories for you. That's the end of our Thailand section. We're running a tighter ship this week because we're backed up on projects, but we'll be back to our longer schedule soon. But now we're into the ASEAN section where our first stop is. You all right?
I'm a tight ship.
Got it. We're going to the Philippines, everybody. The Philippines is investigating donations from suspected Chinese spies. Speaking of spy thrillers. The Philippine government is investigating donations made by 4 Chinese nationals accused of espionage to determine if they had ulterior motives. The suspects, linked to the Chinese Communist Party Foreign Influence Network, led civic groups that donated cash, motorbikes, and patrol vehicles to local authorities. Officials stressed that donations are acceptable if made in good faith, but aim to prevent future cases of potential foreign interference. Recent arrests of suspected Chinese spies have heightened tensions between the two nations, especially amid ongoing disputes in the South China Sea. So China and trying to mess with its neighbors in terms of using its political clout, its economic clout, in order to buy influence. This is not news. I think it's funny that they're like, hey, we're pretty sure that you've just given us a whole bunch of stuff to bribe us.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it, but don't do that again?
Yeah.
I guess that's...
Don't do it.
It's not
Don't
really
do it.
much of a punishment
Yeah.
coming.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
I think they just want to keep getting fooled. I think they like the money, but the question is how much influence is it actually buying?
Fool me 3 times, shame back on you.
Yeah, I guess it's just boing flip thing.
Yeah.
In any case, I don't know. It's interesting to see how China's playing with its neighbors and what the result of all of this will be. As the West is definitely wrapped up in what's going on with Ukraine now, and all the eyes are over there. China's making a lot of moves over here.
Yeah. Fool me 4 times, still shame on you, because now you're just taking advantage.
Okay. how
I'm
many
a
times are doing
vulnerable
that?
man.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Fool me 5 times, that's shame back on me.
Okay.
Because at some point you have to take some responsibility.
Yeah. That should have been on the second time, I think. But anyways.
Moving on to our last story today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Indonesia, as Indonesia records its first deflation in 24 years due to government subsidies. Indonesia recorded its first deflation. Indonesia recorded its first deflation in over 2 decades, with consumer prices falling 0.09% year-on-year in February, mainly due to a government-backed 50% discount on electricity bills. Lower food prices also contributed, but officials clarified that deflation was not caused by weaker demand. Core inflation slightly increased by 2.48%, with the electricity discount ending in March. Inflation is expected to rise but remain low, aided by travel subsidies during Ramadan. The economy is projected to grow 5.1% to 5.2%, aligning with government targets, while Bank Indonesia may consider rate cuts amid global market volatility. 0.0 something percent is still better than nothing.
Well, deflation is a weird thing because usually deflation is a result of like the demand going down, which they're saying that that's not what it is. It's due to them being able to give government rebates back to people. I don't know how true that is. Typically, what you want in a healthy economy is like a low rate of inflation that sort of matches or keeps pace with the growth of your GDP.
Yeah.
It is strange though to see any developing nation hit a patch of deflation. Because that just usually doesn't happen. Usually it just goes the other way. So an interesting economic case coming out of Indonesia. Don't know what it means for now. Hopefully they do maintain that 5% growth target and things just keep getting brighter. Tony Hossein says deflation equals lower prices for consumers. Yes, but it is that's not inherently a bad thing, but typically it's a sign of people spending less.
Yeah.
Which lowers the GDP, which means less jobs, less economic circulation. So if we have to see exactly what will the growth rate look like throughout the year for it to be determined. But hopefully, it's not an insane amount of deflation. So hopefully this is just good news and nothing more bad comes from it, I guess. All right.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Those are some of the stories from across Thailand and ASEAN today. You can find more stories on thetiger.com or visit and join the conversation at
ASEANnow.com.
That's Thailand's largest English forum.
Yeah. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever.
We're going to use reverse psychology. Don't follow us. Don't do it.
Okay, don't do it. But anyways, you'll see lifestyle content, other funny videos, things that we don't usually post here on the YouTube channel. But yeah, like and subscribe all over the place to get your Thailand fix here at the Thaiger.
But Alex, what if I don't like lifestyle?
Well, then... Well, what? All right. Well, let's get into the comments, guys, and see what you guys are talking about.